Well, I'm waiting in line. I'm anticipating. I'm like, oh, I'm about to meet Spike Lee. Our time came up and I gave him this paper to sign. He looked at me and said, hey, what's up, brother? Then he did like this with his eyes. And looked at me again. He thought me and that white girl together. I was like, oh no, Spike, no, man, it ain't like that. It was, man, dude made me uncomfortable as hell. Yo, what's up, my YouTube fam? Now, this is a true story. The time when I met Spike Lee. Now, back on October the 17th, 1985, Spike Lee came from all the way from the Boogie Bronx to California to CSUS, that's Sacramento State University here in Sacramento, right? It was a dream come true. At the time, I was working at UPS, and my co-worker, who was a student at Sacramento State, right? She said, I know you love Spike Lee, because we used to talk about movies and directors and film all the time, and she knew I was a big fan of Spike Lee. And she goes, I tell you what, since I'm a student at the school, I get half off admission to go see Spike Lee. I get you and I a ticket. I'm like, oh man, girl, this is fan-freaking-tastic. Yes, yes, yes. A time to get to meet one of your idols in person, at a speech, at a lecture. Oh man, it's a dream come true. Well, the day came. We met up, had coffee, we got together. Then we took one car from the coffee shop and drove to CSUS to go see Spike Lee. It was a long line because it was general seating. Well, we got there early. We wasn't playing. The doors opened up at 11 a.m. and the speech started at 11:45. But we was one of the first ones in line. We got great seats. We sat up front, and for the next 2 hours, here I am getting a first-hand lecture and increment details how to be a director, how he got started. His advice to me was like, hey, pick up any recording device that you have, push record, film some stuff, push stop. You just made a movie. Then you go back, you learn how to edit. And then later on, do a screenboard. And then write a small script and do it again. And those are the beginning measures of making films. Yeah, I went to film school. I did all kind of classes at night. But to hear it firsthand from a visionary director was outstanding. Spike Lee is one of my heroes. And at this time, the movie Crooklyn had just came out the previous summer. And when he came to Sac State that time, he was just finished filming Girl 6. Now, this movie was about a young lady in between careers. So she took to phone sex as a struggling actress to make money on the side. Well, she got so good at it because when you're an actress, you can act any way you want to over the phone and make money. The more calls you get, the more requests you get, the more money you get. So she can play a white woman, Hispanic, dominatrix, the saucy black girl. She had the voice to mimic anybody. And she spun out of control because she got caught up in the world of phone sex. I love that movie, Girl 6. And the whole soundtrack was done by Prince. An incredible soundtrack. But this movie had Madonna in it. And also it had Quentin Tarantino. Yes, Quentin Tarantino was in a Spike Lee joint. This movie is funny, comical, has some serious issues about life and how to cope with things. It's a great movie. And he had just finished filming his film when he was talking to us at the damn lecture inside the South Gym. And here I am thinking, this man worked with Madonna, Quentin Tarantino. Man, Spike Lee is the man. Then he said him and Prince are good friends, and Prince did the whole soundtrack to the movie. I'm like, whoa. I could not wait until 1986 rolls around when Girl 6 came out. It was incredible, man. And Spike Lee is enduring. He's captivating. He was telling us so much increment details how to become better at what you do and pursue your dreams and make it a reality, man. It was great. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you about this co-worker of mine who got these tickets, she was a white woman. And you know Spike Lee is pro-black. Okay? Dude is an activist. The dude is, man, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Farrakhan mixed up in that little ass body he got in small frame. So he was spitting knowledge. But in that South Gym that day, it was white, Asian, yeah, a whole lot of black, Hispanics. People who love film and love people who wrote their own stuff and also different styles of directing. I mean, Spike Lee is a master behind that damn camera. And it was so great to see him finally get that Oscar for Black Klansman. Well, came the part, I got to meet him up close and personal. After the lecture was over, you can go buy some Spike Lee joint shirts and some of his books and some of his movies. It was a long line, and him and his publicist was sitting at a table, and he gave you this flyer, and he signed your name and talked to you for a little bit. Well, I'm waiting in line, I'm anticipating, I'm like, oh, I'm about to meet Spike Lee. Our time came up, and I gave him this paper to sign. He looked at me and said, hey, what's up, brother? Then he did like this with his eyes. And looked at me again. He thought me and that white girl together. I was like, oh no, Spike, no, man, it ain't like that. Man, dude made me uncomfortable as hell. But to show you that day, I made this little shrine here. And right here is the day that I met Spike Lee. Here's the flyer. And there's his autograph right there. Influential, controversial filmmaker known for Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, and Clockers. And here it is, the time, the date, and it was an amazing time. You can tell I'm a big Spike Lee fan, and this came from the same thing as well. I saved all of that from 1985. But yeah, man, Spike looked at me sideways like, fucking with them white girls. Like, man, literally, we were only business colleagues. We worked at UPS together. We both love film, and it was a trip. But Spike, like, he signed my autograph like this. His autograph, like, yeah, like that, white me. Yeah, go on about your business, motherfucker. Get some t-shirts. Do the right thing. But yo, that was a great experience in my life. And to this day, now that I'm on YouTube, you notice I do film reviews, I do trailer discussions, I do poetry, but I just released my second documentary titled Go Hard or Go Homeless. And I'm proud of this documentary. Please check it out. Leave comments, let me know what you think. I'm really getting used to getting behind the camera now instead of in front of the camera. I'm working on some small feature films. I'll be going to LA this spring and summer to shoot another huge documentary with some notable people that would be in this documentary. And you know, the man inspired me from years ago. And when you meet one of your idols, it's a game-changing experience, and it shapes you to be the person you're going to be today and the career that you want to choose. I want to get behind the film. I mean, I love Steven Spielberg and all these other directors, but Spike Lee was the very first black director that personally impacted me, because when his films came out, I was a young youth. I was very influenced by his film and his designs and also his visionary style and writing skills. Spike Lee's a genius. Now, granted, the man's a hothead, he's semi-racist at times, his political views are a trip. The man offends a lot of people, but hey, separate the man from the art. I'm all about the art. And the man is a man of color, you know, so I have deep admiration for that man. Yo, do the right thing. Like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments. Can you dig? Until the next time on True Stories, peace and love.